One of the wisdoms, I believe, is that if anything is worth doing once, it's usually worth doing a bunch of times. And that's what this Sunday feels like in a lot of ways. So I'm preaching on a central metaphor that I shared with y'all about a year and a half ago. One of the readings is from my very first Sunday in this pulpit 10 years ago, when I was hoping you would call me to be your minister. There's and the choir is singing a song that was from my installation, that moment of marking our partnership. And none of this was super intentional, it just sort of all came together. There's lots of communities, religious communities, that are oriented around a text that they return to again and again, sometimes in really specific patterns, sometimes more loosely. And as Unitarian Universalists, we don't have a central text that we keep reading together in that way. Our holy text is pretty much everything, which can get a little overwhelming. And so it is good to have these touchstones of things that we do return to, because even though they might stay the same, the poem or the song or the ritual or the idea, we change. And so there is something new in that connection that helps us all grow and learn and at least notice how far we have come at the very least. So come, let us gather, let us look back and forward and connect to one another. Come, let us worship together.
Welcome, all who seek renewal in a weary world. Welcome, all who come with love and energy to share. Welcome to those who worry for the future. Welcome, each one who is grateful for today. Know that in this place you are not alone. In community, we share our strength with one another, and we keep the flame of love burning bright. Know that in this place, responsibility is shared. Here, tradition holds us, ancestors shine a light from the past. Here, the young lift their bright faces and beckon us onward. Take my hand, and we can go on together. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to People's Church. Whether this is your first time at People's Church, or you come every Sunday or anywhere in between, I welcome you. My name is John McClellan, and I'm from the Sunday Services Committee. People's Church is a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association and part of a tradition of liberal religion. Here, our mission is to be a beloved community, embracing and serving our diverse world. Welcome to everyone. All right, no announcements today, so let's move on to our chalice lighting. I would like to call Harper Sparks up to light our chalice. And if you're lighting a chalice at home, you're encouraged to type in "a chalice is lit" and then wherever you are into the chat box.
And I invite you to rise in body or spirit so we can sing our chalice lighting.
I'm gonna let it shine.
1, 2, 3, 4. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine.
In addition to our chalice flame burning here at People's Church, we have people who are joining us on Zoom this morning, and they have kindled chalices in the Millwood neighborhood, 2 of them, and in Westwood. What a gift it is to be together in time, if not all in the same place. So, our plethora of sacred text that we can draw from in our lives here at People's Church is wide enough to include sports highlights. So, in my life in the summer of 2020 was the postponement of the Olympics. And so my family decided that we were going to have our own Olympics moment in that July, which involved getting on YouTube and watching sports highlights from just every random sport we could think of that was Olympic or non-Olympic, and just basking in all of the amazing things human bodies can accomplish. And so this is one of the videos we found then that I probably watch at least once a month now, maybe more, because it just speaks to my soul. And so this is from the Youth World Track Championships. And it's a mixed relay, which is a relay race that has 2 boys and 2 girls on every team. And this is race that took place, or a championship that took place in Nairobi, Kenya, which is relevant. So keep your eye on the Kenyan team. That's all I'm going to say. And let's enjoy my favorite sports highlight. It's just absolutely astonishing. It makes me so happy. So today is my final day before sabbatical, and so as I've been making all of these preparations to fill various gaps and things, I've been handing off metaphorical batons, but now I have a few literal batons to hand off. We did some of this last week for the people who were doing pastoral care and caring for one another, but at this moment I'd like to call forward Diane Melvin, our Director of Religious Education, who will be doing the lead administrative stuff in my absence. John McClellan, our Sunday Services Committee Chair, who is going to make sure the Sunday morning experience is meaningful. Joe Hample, the president of our Board of Trustees, who, all of these people are just part of teams, but he will be making sure the governance of our church continues forward strongly. And Elijah Emmerich, our office administrator, who will just take care of all of the other holes that happen. So here's a baton for you, a symbolic baton that you can carry this work forward as we go. Thank you all. Thank you all. And I kind of feel because I'm sure there are all kinds of ways that people will be carrying this church forward in my absence. So thank you all. And now we're going to sing our children to their classes and their teachers and their leaders and everyone. Kiddo? Oh, you're the first one here. I see balloons. It's going to be a good day.
Go forth in peace, in search of wisdom, with love to guide you on your way. And may the joy of life surround you, wherever you may go.
People's people are generous people. And that generosity takes many forms. But one of the ways that People's Church lives into their values is as an employer. So I know very few people come to church saying, what I'm really looking for from this community is to join together with a few hundred other people and employ a staff team, right? That's not what brings people into the door. But it is one of the ways we make our values real. So as I head for sabbatical, I am grateful that this congregation, with the strong encouragement of the Unitarian Universalist Association, has sabbatical leave written into my letter of agreement. And that is just a thing that happens, right? I don't have to fight for it or advocate. Just every few years, that is a thing that happens. This congregation provides good health insurance to our full-time employees, which is not nothing, let me tell you, as one of those employees. This congregation provides a retirement contribution for all of our employees who work half-time or more. Not one of those, like, if you give money, we'll match it kind of situations that most of us have to deal with in the working world right now, but a straight up, we will give a percentage of your salary to your retirement fund regardless of what you do. That is generous, and that is living our values. There are many other ways. We pay our child care folks because it shouldn't, people who look after young children should not be paid the least. And they often are, right? And so we and you live our values by making all of these choices when we pass our budgets, when the board looks over personnel policies, in all of these ways. And so this is the moment where I ask you to continue to be the generous people that you are by living our values with your time, with your talents, and with your money. So the offering will now be received.
Please join me in giving thanks for all that sustains us. From the countless gifts we each have been given, gifts of life and love and sustenance, we bring these small portions to share in the works of love which none of us can accomplish alone.
This church is a community that supports one another in good times and in hard times. One of the ways we do this is we take time when we gather to lift up the joys and sorrows and other milestones in our lives. So if you have something you wish to share with this gathered community, if you're with us on Zoom, I invite you to type it into the chat box. If you're here in person, I invite you to come forward, speak briefly, share your name, place a stone in our bowl of water. So I place a few more stones now for the joy and the sorrow we're holding quietly in our hearts today, the joy and sorrow in our wider community and our wider world. Sources of reason and radiance, sources of courage and compassion, keep watch with those who work or watch or weep this day. May the suffering be soothed. May the weary find rest. May the sick be tended. May the dying and those who love them find peace. May the joyous be shielded. And may all of us know we are wrapped in a love that surrounds us always, a web that connects us to all that exists. A spell for warriors and heroes. I say no with strength and conviction, without blinking. I say no. My yes is a gift to bestow and to receive. I declare myself protected by organizing for collaboration, by delegating, by sharing. I will work with people I can trust to hold what I put down. By the power of asking for and receiving help, I release control and call it opportunity. I make room to rest, imagine, and connect more deeply to my purpose. I protect my relationships. I pour into them from my cup of time. I start with myself. I lay down my important work and seek rest. I gently cast aside compliments that elevate exhaustion and sacrifice of wellness, and turn toward relationships. I speak my intention for wellness into being and into the knowing of others. I claim time for relationships, for family, friends, neighbors, pets. I show up for my own life. There's enough of me to be there for my people because I protect my time like I protect my people. I accept my imperfections as natural, my own unmapped territory, my language to learn. I map my own self, live my own life, speak my own self. I create sanctuary with the resulting lessons a land loving me gives me. I let things go. I let go sooner than later. I don't need wiggle room, I need a dance floor with a resting bench. And as I move to the dance floor, I open up space for another to succeed in the work where I cannot, will not, don't want to. I am one of many, intentionally decentered, blessedly replaceable, forgiving, forgiven, and grateful for the lesson. Others can bloom as I lay fallow. I slow down. I call on discernment to examine the costs of speed, to ask who gets left behind when I surge ahead. I give myself over to my deepest senses to locate stories and histories beyond my own and feel for the connections between us. I cast away white supremacy culture. You will not prosper here. You will burn away when confronted by wisdom and commitment. I call on the wisdom and commitment of my people, known and unknown, the wisdom our communities hold in all its facets, reflections, and shadows, will banish the illusion of efficiency being best for everyone, of the clock being the same as time, of the inconvenience of accountability and justice. We cast out quiet exclusion of our siblings. Together, we grow towards liberation at the speed of care. Ego, opportunity hoarding, perfectionism, I cast you out. Low expectations, control, uncreative thinking, I cast you out. Racism, ableism, sexism, I cast you out. I call in the protective powers of respect, curiosity, vulnerability, grace, trust, care, and love. Cover me against the siren call of urgency and emergency. I call on the powers of rest, play, and joy to stand between me and despair and burnout. I call on beloved community. Guide me towards life, towards love, towards care. May it be so, and blessed be.
This is a two-part song. You can sing whichever one you want, or you can just listen. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. You can keep that one if you want. Here's two. Holy breath. There you go. And holy name. Will you ease this pain? Holy breath and holy name. Will you ease this pain? Together. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Last time. Holy breath and holy name. Will you ease this pain? seen last time. The weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Thank you.
Our first reading is from the Bulgarian-American writer Maria Popova from 10 Learnings from 10 Years of Brain Pickings. Build pockets of stillness into your life. Meditate, go for walks, ride your bike going nowhere in particular. There is a creative purpose to daydreaming, even to boredom. The best ideas come to us when we stop actively trying to coax the muse into manifesting and let the fragments of experience float around our unconscious mind in order to click into new combinations. Without this essential stage of unconscious processing, the entire flow of the creative process is broken. Most important, sleep. Besides being the greatest creative aphrodisiac, sleep also affects our every waking moment, dictates our social rhythm, and even mediates our negative moods. Be as religious and disciplined about your sleep as you are about your work. We tend to wear our ability to get by on little sleep as some sort of badge of honor that validates our work ethic. But what it really is a profound failure of self-respect and of priorities. What could possibly be more important than your health and your sanity, from which all else springs? Our second reading is from the Palestinian-American poet Naomi Shihab Nye, Gate A4. Wandering around the Albuquerque airport terminal, after learning my flight had been delayed 4 hours, I heard an announcement. If anyone in the vicinity of Gate A4 understands any Arabic, please come to the gate immediately. Well, one pauses these days. Gate A4 was my own gate. I went there. An older woman in full traditional Palestinian embroidered dress, just like my grandma wore, was crumpled on the floor, wailing. "Help," said the flight agent. "Talk to her. What is her problem? We told her the flight was going to be late and she did this." I stooped to put my arm around the woman and spoke haltingly. "Shudowa, shubid uk, habibti, stani shway, min fadlik, shubit sewi." The minute she heard any words she knew, however poorly used, she stopped crying. She thought the flight had been canceled entirely. She needed to be in El Paso for major medical treatment the next day. I said, "No, we're fine. You'll get there, just later." "Who's picking you up? Let's call." We called her son. I spoke with him in English. I told him I would be with his mother till we got on the plane and ride next to her. She talked to him. Then we called her other sons just for the fun of it. Then we called my dad, and he and she spoke for a while in Arabic and found out, of course, they had 10 shared friends. Then I thought, just for the heck of it, why not call some Palestinian poets I know and let them chat with her? This all took up 2 hours. She was laughing a lot by then, telling of her life, patting my knee, answering questions. She had pulled a sack of homemade mamoul cookies, little powdered sugar crumbly mounds stuffed with dates and nuts, from her bag, and was offering them to all the women at the gate. To my amazement, not a single woman declined one. It was like a sacrament. The traveler from Argentina, the mom from California, the lovely woman from Laredo, we were all covered with the same powdered sugar, and smiling. There is no better cookie. And then the airline broke out free apple juice from huge coolers, and 2 little girls from our flight ran around serving it, and they were covered with powdered sugar too. And I noticed my new best friend, by now we were holding hands, had a potted plant poking out of her bag, some medicinal thing with green furry leaves. Such an old country tradition. Always carry a plant. Always stay rooted to somewhere. And I looked around that gate of late and weary ones, and I thought, this is the world I want to live in, the shared world. Not a single person in that gate, once the crying of confusion stopped, seemed apprehensive about any other person. They took the cookies. I wanted to hug all those other women too. This can still happen anywhere. Not everything was lost.
And our third reading today is by Unitarian Universalist minister, activist, and poet Julian Jamaica Soto. Where life sends you. Where is life sending you? Here, now. Don't flinch. Where will you go? Across the street to learn the name of your neighbor? Across the city to support an interfaith dialogue, to witness the practice of neighbors whose faith has different names, uses different words than yours? Is life calling you to come closer to the grief around you, not with words, but with empathy and kind silence? Sometimes there is no fixing sadness, and we must instead weather it. But together, we make the journey much more possible than alone. Where does life send you? To coffee hour to start the brew? To a class to accompany young students in experiencing everything that Unitarian Universalism can be for us, both as individuals and as people practicing together in community? Go where your heart pulls you. Catch up to that insistent call, to that thing that waits for you, that soft place where your talent can rest and your joy bubble up. The sound, the lights, the homeless shelter. The tasks of governance practiced with care, as much as lighting any chalice, as crucial as singing any song. There's somewhere you can be. There might not be a parking space reserve sign that you can see, but there is a yes from the universe, where your task is to work or to heal, to rest or to play. It is time to go where life sends you and be who you are meant to be.
I invite you to stretch your posture a little bit taller. We'll sing this song together. Guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race. For I don't want to run this race in vain. Race in vain. Hold my hand. Hold my hand while I run this race. Hold my hand while I run this race. Hold my hand while I run this race. For I don't want to run this race in vain. Stand by me. Stand by me while I run this race. Stand by me while I run this race. Stand by me while I run this race. For I don't want to run this race in vain. Race in vain. Last one. Search my heart while I run this race. Search my heart while I run this race. Search my heart
Last weekend, while so many of you were lining the streets of West Nedge or gathering elsewhere for the hands-off protests, I went to the beach. It was what I needed. While you were holding your signs and giving voice to our values, I was climbing a dune and building sculptures out of driftwood and stones and whatever else we found on the beach that day. While you were joining with millions of others in a massive day of protest, I was with my family, listening to Lake Michigan waves crash against the beach, slowing my breath, feeling that wind, that insistent cold wind. That is what I needed last weekend. That is what my family needed. And there was a time that I would have felt very guilty about that choice. Now I just feel like this much guilty. There was a time that when a church person during the service last Sunday asked who attended the protest, and so many hands went up in this room, that it would have become fuel for my inner critic that you could have, you should have, why didn't you voice? And I've grown a little bit, so I could cut that off pretty quickly. I did what I needed to do. There will be more protests and so many other ways to act in support of our values. A few years ago, a dear colleague friend shared a metaphor that the work of community, the work of justice, the work of love that none of us can accomplish alone is a relay race. So people handing off batons to each other, taking their turns to go farther and faster than any single person can alone. And this is a metaphor that I love. I've preached it before. I think it's so useful. Integrity does not require us to sprint, to give our maximum effort for some short amount of time and then be done. We need to be long haul people. But integrity also does not require us to run marathons, one long sustained effort with very few breaks, hours of running fueled by those weird energy gels and tiny cups of water we're pouring over our heads and in our mouths. We need breaks. We don't need to eat the weird energy goo stuff unless we really love it. So in our relay racing community, we each take our turn with the baton, doing the work, moving us forward in the ways we can, or at least making the effort to do so. And we all have our time for rest. When we've taken our turn, or when we're preparing for our shift. And there are times when we are not personally among the racers, but cheering from the stands. And that loving support is so important. Part of what I love about that video is the crowd noise and the way I think that woman or that girl with the short legs is faster than anybody should be because everyone around her is so excited and cheering so loudly for her. I think the reason the announcers were so surprised is they did not account for such things. So in our relay race, in this community, we take turns doing more together than any of us can alone. Together, we grow toward liberation at the speed of care, the poet reminds us. So when I leave the church building today, I will begin a 4-month sabbatical. This is 4 months of not working as your minister, at least in the everyday task sort of way. I don't know if I fully set it down ever, but 4 months of not carrying my particular minister batons. I won't be checking my email for 4 months. My voicemail is already converted to be the place where you can call to receive support from our pastoral care team. I will not be going to meetings or preaching or teaching. Thank you. I wish more employers were as generous as you all about this. I'll spend my time resting, reading, writing, renewing my spirit. I will spend more time with my family and friends. My children at 7 and 9 are at the sweet age where they really like to spend time with me. I know that doesn't last forever, and I'm gonna seize it for all it's worth. I'll do some traveling, I'm excited to see what emerges when I slow down. Unlike an academic sabbatical, sabbaticals for clergy are not about producing something, right? It's not I'm not taking on a project. I get to see what emerges. I have some ideas, but we'll just see what happens. I'll be testing out Maria Popova's idea that the best ideas come to us when we stop actively trying to coax the muse into manifesting and let the fragments of experience float around our unconscious mind in order to click into new combinations. So thank you for granting me these possibilities. Thank you to everyone who is doing more so I can do less. So, relay team, as we gear up for this next phase in our race, I have some coaching for you all. First, know that things will be different here at the church over the next 4 months. Please be patient and be creative and be kind. Offer grace to each other. I think we've planned well, but there are guaranteed to be some gaps, some dropped batons, some missed handoffs. And when those moments happen, offer to help when you can, or at the very least, be kind to those who are on the track moving the baton forward. It will be good for the church to see who you are when I am not among you. About 20% of the congregation's membership joined since my last sabbatical in 2021, and somewhere around half of this congregation's participants don't know this church without me as the minister. So I've joined since I got here. And this sabbatical will be such a good moment for you all to remember that I am not the center of this church. Our mission is love is at the center, and it's not me. It is the membership acting together that is the highest authority here. That's where the power really lies. You all called me, and in doing that, delegated a bunch of decision-making, but not that central power that is yours. Religious communities that don't know themselves, independent from their clergy, can get in trouble. Bad things can happen in that situation, whether that's cults of personality or what unhealthy ways of dealing with conflict or loss of faith when the clergy person makes human mistakes, or clergy people taking advantage of that situation in all kinds of horrible ways that I'm sure you can imagine. I don't think we're in particular danger of that here, but this moment is a really good reset for us all. The church and its mission are bigger than any of us. And it will be good for all of us, probably me especially, to remember that I am, in the words of our meditation words today, one of many, intentionally decentered, blessedly replaceable. Others can bloom as I lay fallow. So, relay team, here's some etiquette for my time. I will be here in Kalamazoo for most of my sabbatical, and I will certainly see some of you. There's a church family that lives on my block. There are multiple People's Church kids in each of my children's classes at elementary school, and there's just only so many grocery stores and restaurants and walking trails in this town. So when we see each other, because I'm sure I will see some of you, let's be normal. Okay? Like, you don't have to pretend you don't know me or that I'm invisible. I won't do the same to you. But I do ask that you don't talk to me about church stuff, even if it's really exciting what's unfolding here while I'm away. But let's talk about how we're feeling, how we're doing, what's going on, all that stuff. Anything but church. Because I'm trying to be disconnected and sort of recalibrate my own self a little bit. And know that I'll receive the news I need when I return, and there is a protocol in place if something really big happens to reach out to me, so you don't need to manage that. But I do have an optional invitation for you all. If there is something you want to tell me while I'm away, please mail or bring a physical note to the church. I won't see it until August, but if there's something you want to share, whether that's an idea for a service, a really cool fact that you think I should know, your own spiritual insight that you've come to, praise for a fellow church member, any of that stuff, please write it on a postcard and mail it to the church. So a couple of you did this during my last sabbatical, and it was really sweet to come back to. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that's an option. Not required. You don't get a participation grade if you do it or not. Just, it's there. And I'm just not going to try to catch up on 4 months of email when I get back. So know if you send it to email, if you try to email me or text me, it will just go into the void. So send it again in late August. So that's enough of this kind of sabbatical etiquette and coaching. But I have some more general coaching for this relay team. Take rests. Last fall, we built these metaphorical spiritual first aid kits to help us through hard times. Do you remember what you thought to include in yours? Or if you weren't there that day, what are the things that you turn to when times are hard? My kit, which I literally assembled here on the chancel, included some crunchy leaves to remind me to get outside, some romance novels for some happy endings, my gym membership, French fries, our hymnal, a portrait of Carolyn Bartlett Crane, who was the minister here a long time ago in the 1890s, and a good ancestor that all of us can claim if we like to. Make sure there is time for rest and renewal in your life. Most of us don't get that in 4-month blocks. Maybe all of us should. But take a day, take an hour, take a moment when you can at least have a few smooth breaths. Relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw, take your tongue off the roof of your mouth, and just get into a little bit calmer place. Maybe rest for you is going to the beach to listen to the waves and feel the wind and build something from the weathered objects there. Maybe renewal for you is joining in protests with thousands or millions of others that share your values. Maybe it fluctuates depending on the day. Do what feeds you. Know it will be different for you than for others. And try something new, experiment. See if you can find other pathways to rest than you knew. Next, team, carry the baton forward in your way. That could be protests, that could be calling elected representatives, showing up to city or township or county commission meetings, running for office yourself. That could be sharing your money with people who need it and organizations and institutions that are advancing your values in the world. Some of you are doing the hard, beautiful work of building trust and solidarity across our community. Others of you are doing the hard, beautiful work of maintaining relationships with people who disagree with you, people who support the rising fascism in this country, speaking the truth as you know it, working for change person by person. And there are many forms of baton carrying that aren't directly about this moment in our nation's history, but about care and community that we seek to cultivate always. That is saying yes when the call goes out. If anyone in the vicinity of gate A4 understands any Arabic, please come to the gate immediately. If you speak Arabic, otherwise that's a metaphor, right? There are so many opportunities to take the baton and move us all forward towards the best world. It could be having a pizza delivered to someone who is overwhelmed or bringing them a meal. It could be offering to take a friend's kids to the park so those adults have a moment to rest. A few summers ago, a church member mowed another church member's lawn for the whole summer because that church member had some stuff going on. And that gift of chores gave rest and ease in powerful ways. And I had not thought of mowing the lawn as a way to live our values. But that person really liked to mow the lawn and was happy to take on a few extra lawns in his rotation to do the work of care, right? So it's amazing. Almost anything that you like to do, you can find a way to give it as a gift and make things easier for someone else. We carry the baton forward by creating ease for each other, creating beauty, fostering joy. And so my final word of coaching for this moment is to find the joy. Find the joy in your race, in your turn with the baton, in the resting and the cheering for others. As I've said before, maybe too many times in this pulpit, maybe one of the only good things about a world that has so much pain in it is that there are so many ways to ease that pain, to create more love, more justice, and more joy. There's so many ways to move the baton forward in this race, which means at least a lot of the time, your race should be meaningful and maybe even fun, joyful, smile-inducing. It shouldn't hurt. And if that's not how your personal baton carrying is feeling, it might be time to rest. Reflect on what tasks are meaningful, notice where your heart is pulling you, and try something else, right? I will never be the one who mows lawns for other people because I can barely get it together for myself, right? So there are other ways that are mine. The work of love and justice is big enough and diverse enough that it shouldn't cost us our joy. As Reverend Julian Jamaica Soto reminds us in the poem I read earlier, a poetic call to service within and beyond Unitarian Universalism. Where does life send you? To the coffee hour to start the brew, to a class accompanying young students and experiencing everything that Unitarian Universalism can be for us, both as individuals and as people practicing together in community. Go where your heart pulls you. Catch up to that insistent call, to that thing that waits for you, the soft place where your talent can rest and your joy bubble up. Let the joy bubble up. Prioritize joy. Put it on your calendar if you need to. I have had seasons like that. For an hour twice a week, I will be joyful, which is ridiculous, but it works. Dance. In a dance party or alone in your kitchen. Spend time with art that makes you glad. Craft, color, play games. Spend time with good people, eat good food, go to the beach. It's there for us. So team, we have done well so far, and let's keep up the good work in this relay race. So remember, be patient, be creative, be kind. If you see me over the next few months, be normal. Let's all be normal. You can send me notes here if you like. Take rests, carry the baton forward in your way. Choose joy. May it be so, may we make it so, and amen. So as the choir gets into position for our final song, I'm going to tell you a kind of funny story about this song. So this song is words from the back of our hymnal here, set to music by a Unitarian Universalist person who composes music for Unitarian Universalist choirs. And it's something we sang at my installation here almost 9 years ago, that formal marking of our partnership. And it's attributed to John Murray, who is really the founder of the Universalist movement in America. One of them, there's a few people, but he's one of our big founding father types in our tradition. But the thing is, he never said these words. These words are part of like a novel based on his life. And these words are actually said by like a ghost to him, like in this artist's imagining of him being really, of John Murray being really discouraged and needing that encouragement to go and continue to preach the good news of Universalism, that God loves everyone, that no one will be condemned to suffer in perpetuity. But these are the words of a fictional, encouraging spirit, not actually our guy. But they're really good, so I still love it, and it kind of makes me laugh that it's a pretend ghost that said these words. So let's hear them and enjoy them.
And the everlasting love of God.
Thank you, choir. So let us go out and preach not hell, but hope. Not send anyone deeper into their despair. We may possess small lights only, but let us uncover them and let them shine. Let us go in peace and go in love.